Okay, what we're going to do is going to talk about radicals and how to use this software. Now you'll notice on mine, when you open up the software, mine is the teacher software, yours is the student software. It'll say the same thing. If you don't want to see the screen, just unclick the always show this at startup and just close this screen. Now, you'll notice that the screen is two sections. One side has the calculator, maybe it doesn't in yours because you have a different tab selected up here. You can resize this so that you can make it smaller or larger if you want. Okay, now if I have the calculator selected, it shows the calculator on the side, and if I click any buttons, it'll show up over here. It'll automatically think that this is a calculator page. That kind of is the default. So now, what I want to do is show you how to open files and transfer them to your handheld. This is the handheld. I do have my handheld connected to my computer right now. And when you have your handheld connected to your computer, you're going to see TI and Spirecast, and you're going to see part of your serial number down here. Now, up at the top is the hard drive on my computer. I happen to be in the 2Radicals file folder. If you want to go to a different file folder, you can go right up here and click that down arrow, but it's easier to actually go up here and up one level, and I can see all of my calculator files in the calculator files folder that are there. I've already navigated to that and opened those. Now, when we're up here, the one we're going to open is, I'm going to put a lot of these for this chapter out on the wiki space, so you'll be able to see them. Now when I have already transferred these down here to my Inspire. If I double click down here, you'll see that I have all my folders, and I do have an Algebra 2 folder down here which I'm going to work with. I've already moved all the calculator files up here down here, and the way you do that is you just go into your folder that you want of the TNS file is the one you're going to move, and you just drag it down here and let go, and it goes right automatically to your handheld. Then your handheld will have a message on the screen and you just say okay, because it just says it transferred a file. Now the one we're going to work in particular in this example, is we're going to work with the 2Radicals TNS file. Mine is already up here on my hard drive, and that's the one I'm going to work with rather than on my calculator. So double click the file, it will open in the right hand side screen. Now I don't need this part of the screen too much anymore, so I can minimize that and we can just work with this side. On the wiki space, you'll also see a PDF file that is out there that is all the screenshots on here, so you can see the screens as you can print it out if you want. It's just the different screens. This is an example of working with your calculator, and you're going to learn a new function. And to go to the next page, you can either, I'm going to put my calculator up now because this is what's on here. If you go and move your fingertip around here on the touch screen part, it will bring up a cursor in your screen. Okay, so if I do that over here, it doesn't work on the software, but it will on your calculator. So now to go to the next screen, if you get that cursor, you can just go up here and point to the 1.2, or you can click the right arrow. Another quick way of going to the next screen is pressing Control right arrow, which I find a lot easier than monkeying around with the touch screen. Okay, now scroll all the way to the top of this document on page 1, 2, and we're going to see, it looks crazy, I know, but think about it. The only part that we're going to look at is this part right here, because that's the equation that they put into the calculator. They put root 3 times x plus 1 and then minus, and I think you have to hit the tab here after you hit that root 3x plus 1 and then a minus sign. So get it typed in exactly like this. Pressing enter brings up this side of the screen. Okay, then you'll see this, and that's all you'll see on your screen. Then down here, what they did was they just took this and they said, well, just like I did in class, I moved the root, this root right here, to the right side of the equation by adding it. Since it's subtracted over here, I added it to both sides. So that's what we do when we have two roots. Remember the story of the Land O'Lakes lady, how if I square this, it just gets messier and messier. So what I'm going to do is put it over there. And then this line just shows that I took this whole equation and I added root x plus 4. So on the left side of your screen, you don't really care what it says too much, because that's just showing you what is going into the calculator. And because it does not show it as being added to both sides, it shows parentheses and then the plus root x plus 4 to the whole entire equation, which when you do this and press enter, you'll get the right side of the screen would pop up. Okay, this problem is all done for you. It's on this file, so you don't have a thing to do to this but just to look at it and observe what's happening. Now over here, now it has simplified, and you notice that the minus x plus 4 is moved over here with the 1, and now they're going to square both sides of the equation. So once you have this on your calculator, you're just going to hit the x squared button right here and enter, and that'll take this and square it, which is exactly what happens right here. It takes this side and squares the entire equation, which when it does, it squares both sides. It's just, that's the way the calculator shows it. Now on the left side, since we just have root 3x plus 1, you're just going to get 3x plus 1 when you square that left side. On the right side, when you square this binomial, okay, you're going to get this binomial squared. And now you have to take, because the calculator does not square a binomial automatically, you have a new function to learn, and it's called expand. So what you're going to do is this line right here is just taking this side and expanding that squared binomial. When you expand that squared binomial, okay, you type in the expand function, or you can go to your function catalog, which is right here, the little book one, and type in an E, and it'll go right down to the E's, and then you can hit select the expand, and it'll put it in. So now what we do is, what you can do is you can go up here and you can select this just here, this part. Whoops, I didn't get that left parenthesis, which that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, just select that, and you can copy it and paste it into your expand thing. So what you want to do is copy it first with a control, clicking control and then a C on your calculator, copies, and then inside type in your expand function, go inside the parentheses and do a control V to paste it inside the parentheses there. Now once you hit enter at the end of this, this side will come up on your screen. Well, this is that binomial expanded. So now you know how to square a binomial or multiply two binomials together. So now we still have a square root. So again, just like in the rest of these problems, we have to isolate this square root. So, but now we have to go back to your original equation up here, because I just expanded this. So all this whole side is, whoops, got to get the 2 too, is this side squared. So now I have to go back and type in the original equation, or this one right up here. So you type in 3 times x plus 1 equals, and then here is where you type in your expanded part. Again, you can cut and copy and paste and everything so that you get this side entirely typed in with the equation again. Because notice there's no equal sign here. Okay, now once you have this, again, as I said, you have to isolate the root x plus 4, this part all by itself. So what you're going to do is you're going to actually subtract x and subtract 5. So you can say minus x minus 5. Now, and press enter. This will show up on your screen because you've or actually when you hit enter, you'll get this. Okay, minus x minus 5 is what they typed in. Then you'll get this as your answer. And now you'll see that the minus x came from this side, and we have 2x over there now. And the plus 1, when we subtracted 5, we got the minus 4.